Today I want to talk about the Narrows. Hey, not these Narrows, these Narrows. The Narrows is by far the busiest channel on Lake Minnetonka. It divides the two halves of the lake, the upper half and the lower half. But what a lot of people don't realize is that this isn't the original Narrows. Let's have a look. We find ourselves about a half-mile south of the Narrows on Lafayette Bay. A couple hundred yards north of West Point on the Tonka Bay shoreline is the entrance to Crystal Creek. There are no channel buoys, but there is a minimum wake sign, as well as a sign stating that this is a dead-end channel. I remember back in the 1980s, there was also signage warning that fishing wasn't allowed as the area was a fish hatchery. Since the signs are gone and there seems to be people fishing here, I'm guessing that's no longer the case. In 1853, Joseph McLeod of Excelsior gave two 20-acre lots to the Reverend Stephen Hull. The good Reverend built a cabin along a creek that ran through the property connecting Upper and Lower Lake Minnetonka. Hull's Narrows, as people began calling it, was nothing but a mud-bottom swamp. It was 15 to 20 feet wide and less than 2 feet deep. It was used by canoes and rowboats to traverse between the two bodies of water. That all changed in 1860 when the flat-bottom steamer Governor Ramsey began using it. In 1873, the large steamer May Queen ran aground at Hull's Narrows. This got the Hennepin County Board's attention, and soon they appropriated $1,000 to John Carmen's two sons, T.B. and Frank, to dredge the channel. Dredging proved to be futile because the area is basically a swamp, and it would soon just fill in with mud and silt again. In 1880, they were paid $4,847 to widen the channel, as well as make other improvements. The quarter-mile-long channel was now 70 feet wide and averaged 3 to 5 feet deep. Still, steamboats continued to have problems navigating the channel during times of low water. In 1881, the county determined that Hull's Narrows was not an adequate channel. Construction of a new channel between Lafayette and Carmen's Bays began 2 years later. That marked the end of Hull's Narrows. Today, Crystal Creek is a dead-end channel cut off by Manitou Road. The southeastern half of Carmen's Bay has been renamed Old Channel Bay to acknowledge Hull's channel. Now let's go look at the new channel. We are now in Lafayette Bay, entering the Narrows and heading towards the upper lake. In 1884, work began on the Narrows. The digging took several months with a steam shovel. But by September, the channel was deep enough for the steamship Hattie May to pass through. Crossing the channel was done by ferry until about 1910, when the first bridge was built. The current bridge was built in 1960. We are now entering Carmen's Bay on the upper lake. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to click on like and subscribe for more videos about Lake Minnetonka.